I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, on your feet and welcome your home team.
All right, welcome into Proton Park for Game 3 against the Fransburg Revolution. The Colliders come in at 1-1 after dropping their first game against Bestine, but coming back and beating the Holley Hawks. So Andy Gary, their 7th round draft pick, kicks it into the end zone, and Fransburg will have the first crack at it. And here is Lacey Marsh, who is tackled by Jaquez Price. The quarterback is Benton Johnson, and he gets that one off to Lacey Marsh for another first down. Benton Johnson's had his share of struggles this season, and the Colliders hope to continue that trend. Johnson back to pass. He's going to run for it. He's got a big lane, and the ball comes loose, and Jaquez Price has it. A fumble recovery, so quarterback didn't see anyone downfield and decides to run for it. Has a great run, but does not protect the ball. And Fransburg gives up their first possession. And here, it's stripped out by Tyree Anderson and picked up by Jaquez Price, so the linebackers are on the case. And now Greg McLean, who's also had his share of struggles, he will be the quarterback for the Colliders. That one is up to rookie Ron Lewis, who's got it for 25 yards, and they are in business already. McLean has Jaihe Holiday in the backfield. Holiday has a Pro Bowl on his resume from last year, where he had 1,234 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns. He has not seen that level of play this year. But here he is running over someone, and that'll make it 3rd and 5. McLean finds Montoya, and he can't make it in. So Morgan Montoya is leading the team with 2 touchdown receptions. He almost has another one there. And they'll try to run it in, and Holiday is stoned in the backfield. So that's going to make it 2nd and goal from the 4. And McLean will throw the screen, and it's intercepted. And that's Ron Lewis on the tackle. A terrible throw by McLean, who thought he had a man open. So a 1st and goal from the 1 ends up being a turnover. So both teams have turned it over so far. And now Benton Johnson's going deep. And DeMarcus Coleman intercepts it. So just like that, they get the ball back. So 2 straight interceptions. And the offenses are having a hard time. Defenses came to play. So that is DeMarcus Coleman with the interception. McLean on the screen pass to Morgan Montoya. Doesn't pick up that final block, but gets about 8 there. Montoya was the 1st round pick of the Colliders, as Jaihe Holiday fails to get the first, and the Cleveland Battery, surprisingly, 3-0 in the division. Holiday will get this one, but they'll be calling it back. That's Zach Pope on the hold, the big left tackle. So instead of 1st down, we've got 3rd and 10. McLean fires it out for 3 yards, and Andy Gary is going to try a 55-yarder. The kick is up, and it's true. Andy Gary has demonstrated a great leg, and he has been an amazing 7th round draft pick for the Batavia Colliders. They go up 3-0. And that one will just be down for a touchback because you can't stop this Andy Gary train. Benton Johnson back to pass, and he's going to run for it again. Let's see if he protects the ball this time. Elijah Wright is there for the tackle. And now he's got 2 carries for 31 yards. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter, where Batavia is up 3-0 in their home stadium. Man in motion. And Benton Johnson will fake the handoff and toss it out. And Klein is tackled by Centamuel Cheeseborough. Next play, Lacey Marsh. It looks like he's stopped short, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. With the Colliders looking to get off the field here. Benton Johnson under pressure, gets it out to McDonald. McDonald does have the first down, but Ramel McBride hurts him. And so on 1st and 10, Revolution now moving the ball past midfield, but that one's intercepted. It's DeMarcus Coleman for the second time. DeMarcus Coleman has Benton Johnson's number. That's 2 interceptions for the corner. DeMarcus Coleman. Let's see if the Colliders can do anything with it. Play fake. Tyree Anderson upended. And yeah, he just jumps that route. Great play by DeMarcus Coleman. So 4:45 left in the first half, and they're going to try to get Holiday going, and he doesn't go far. He gets about 4 yards there. McLean operating out of the shotgun. He's going to check that one down to Ron Lewis, and they're going to give Ron the first down there. He's pretty happy about it. And here comes McLean trying to follow his blockers. He does, and gets about 9 there, so one of his better runs of the day so far. This will be a toss, and Holiday does fall forward, so he was stopped short, but he used his power to roll over the defender and get the first down. This one goes out to Tavares Mason, the very slow wide receiver that plays in the slot. And here's a toss sweep to Holiday, and he gets enough for the first down on 2nd and inches. McLean to pass it, and he checks it down to Lewis. It looked like he had Powell D open as well. And Greg McLean, it's a clinic out there. 5 completed passes in a row, no way. And play fake, and he doesn't get sacked, but he does chuck it off of the goalpost. So 3rd and 5. And that's Morgan Montoya for the touchdown on the slant. So Morgan Montoya coming in as a rookie. They needed some improvement. They needed some speed and athleticism at wide receiver. Morgan Montoya has provided a little bit of that, and he's leading the team now with 3 touchdown receptions. And so just kind of simple route here. Gets open. McLean puts it on him kind of a little bit behind. And Andy Gary puts it through. And now it's 10-0 Batavia. Does Fransburg have an answer? It should be noted that the Fransburg Revolution were our Scuffle Immersion champions this year. They don't look like champions right now. All right, another touchback for this ace kicker. And Benton Johnson has a minute and a half. He gets it out to Marsh, and that's knocked loose by Elisha Wright. Number 24, our best player. You'll see the fans wearing his jersey in the stands. Johnson changing the play. He's going to run for it, didn't even hesitate, and he gets decked by Jaquez Price. Holds on to the ball, though, and now it's 3rd and inches. Johnson's going to run as the defensive tackle gets thrown to the ground, and he's got a first down. So Colliders having a tough time stopping this quarterback when he decides he's going to tuck and run. And Elijah Wright bats that one down, nearly intercepts it, intended for Bohannon. And there's just about a minute left. Johnson throws it up again, and Ramel McBride takes him down. So 3rd and 4 from midfield. Man in motion. I don't know if he was set, and it just bounces off of him and off of the defender. So on 4th and 4, Wilson will punt it away, and Brendan Polk is back there. He's going to let it go. Surprising to see him on the field and not injured. So with 50 seconds left, can McLean and company do anything with it? They toss it over the middle to Tavares Mason, who drops it after getting decked. And Coach Amari Jenkins shakes his head like, this guy, am I right? Slow and can't catch the ball. McLean going long and missing. So that corner route has been a huge struggle for Greg McLean. I don't think he's been able to connect on it once. And that one's thrown into a crowd. And Brennan Vaughn will come in to punt. So a quick, useless possession. And now the Colliders have actually given the Revolution a chance to score before halftime. So poor coaching, poor execution on that drive. 29 seconds left. Let's see what they can do with it. Johnson back to pass. He had a man, but he overthrew him. Magazu. And Magazu is not able to run under that one. So we'll see what they can do on 2nd and 10 with 24 seconds left. Johnson with all the time in the world. He's going to run for it now. Defender misses, and he gets decked again. Tyree Anderson pops him, so he's taken some hits. 16 seconds left, 3rd and 8. This one's going up. And Centennial Cheeseborough intercepts it, and that puts an end to that drive. Looked like the wide receiver had a step, but Cheeseborough maybe was baiting him just a little bit into throwing that pass. And now McLean goes long, and that's too long for Montoya. Montoya looked to be well covered there anyway. 6 seconds left, and they're just going to dump it down on a screen. And Montoya is stopped, and they'll call timeout with 1 second left and see if they can just heave it up into the end zone. McLean back to pass. Throws it up for Montoya, and he almost catches it, but it's batted loose, and that'll take us to the end of the first half, where Batavia is in control 10-0 and has 3 interceptions. So the Fransburg Revolution are not able to get anything going thanks to their poor quarterback play. Outside of running all over them, Benton Johnson struggling in the passing game. Morgan Montoya has the touchdown of the day. And we'll see what happens in the second half as we take it back down to the field where Fransburg is kicking off, and Brendan Polk will return. And he's hit, and he is not injured, folks. He got up. Amazing. Bronx cheer from the fans here. And here's Holiday. Breaks a tackle, almost gets a lane, picks up 1 yard. Would have been a loss, though. So a nice broken tackle there. McLean lining up under center, and that's going to be handed to Holiday. Holiday loses that yard, gives it right back as he's decked in the backfield. And that'll make it 3rd and 10. McLean checks it down to Tavares Mason, and he can't do anything with it. So 4th and 4 will likely bring up a punting situation, and Brennan Vaughn will kick this one back to Fransburg. Hamida on the turn, and then Javik O'Neal stops him. Hamida thinks about it and then decides he's injured. So what can Benton Johnson do in the second half? Ooh, he almost gets picked up there, and he's finally tackled by Sherman Mosley. Missed sack around his ankles as he takes off for 2. He had a really hard first half. This time he fakes to Marsh. He's going long, and he's intercepted again. That's Tyree Anderson. So that's 4 interceptions on the day And they say Anderson fumbled it. Looked like he was down, though. So we might see a challenge here. Amari Jenkins throwing out the red challenge flag. Tyree Anderson. That's close from that angle. Looked like his elbow might have been down. The ball might have been moving at the same time. It's hard to see from that angle as well. So there might not be incontrovertible proof of this unless we get a better camera angle. That's after the play, guys. So, not getting a lot of help from the broadcast crew here on the replays. They're highlighting Amari Jenkins.
The ruling on the field is overturned.
And they're going to give it to Batavia. The ruling on the field is overturned. And Tyree Anderson holds on and does not get credited with a fumble. McLean back to pass, and he's got Tavares Mason over the middle. And he powers forward for about 8 yards. And so now that's 4 interceptions for Benton Johnson. Holiday weaves back and gets just enough for the first down. And you would think with 4 interceptions that the Colliders would have a bigger lead, but they're only up 10-0. They're really going to need to convert here and score again. So Morgan Montoya has another catch. He's got 5 for 56 and a touchdown. As McLean is going to give it to Holiday, who just ignores the lane he had and gets decked for a loss instead. So not very good field vision for Jai Holiday. It looked like he had a lane for the first down. And here he fails again. And so perhaps the Colliders will be looking for a running back in the next draft. One of the things that's difficult about that is you have to get the best running backs early in the first round. And the Colliders are not really ever drafting early in the first round. I believe they drafted 28th to get Morgan Montoya, who is the best receiver left. And not many running backs available there that are difference makers. So we saw an Andy Gary field goal. Now he's got 2 on the day. And Benton Johnson under pressure, and that's the rookie that we got in the second round. Alexander Williams out of Florida. A guy who was marked a top 5 prospect strangely fell to the second round, and when he was still there with the 30th pick in the second round, the Colliders jumped on it. And boy, are they glad they did. He's an 85 overall with A potential. And we've done 3. It's all Batavia here. Defense has stymied this Fransburg Revolution squad. And Benton Johnson with plenty of time and hucks this one out of bounds. Not sure if he was trying to throw that away or if he's just really bad at football. If you're Fransburg, you're probably thinking about trying to get a quarterback in the draft next year. That's another bad miss. This year they got an outside linebacker. I think they had the 5th pick overall. And the outside linebacker is good. Oh, and there's Brendan Polk writhing on the ground the way we're used to seeing him. So McLean back to pass. He's just going to dump it off to Holiday, and Holiday showing that lack of speed and acceleration and agility as he gets just 1 on that play. Looked like he had some room, but not good enough. And that one goes to Ron Lewis. It'll be interesting to see when we actually get some playmakers on this team what a difference that will make. Because right now we're playing that 100-year-old football where everyone's slow and plodding. Morgan Montoya gets another one, converts for the first down, so he's been busy today with 6 catches for 65 yards. And has definitely proven to be an upgrade in the receiving corps. And Ron Lewis also demonstrating his acumen at catching the ball. Finding space over the middle against inferior linebackers, and McLean gets decked. Nothing to do. Everyone was covered. He just said his prayers and took the sack. But he's got 7 completed passes in a row. Maybe he didn't try to get rid of it because he didn't want to ruin that streak. So 2nd and 18. Here's Holiday, and he is stopped. He's having a really hard time getting things going against this Fransburg squad, who is playing tough run defense and pretty good defense overall. Powell D makes the catch, and that's going to be about a 7 or 8 yard gain. And now it's 4th and 10. We're going to bring on Andy Gary, our field goal hero. He's got another one. That's 3 field goals for the rookie kicker out of Fresno State. He's feeling it, folks. And he's so pumped he kicks another one into the end zone. Hamida doesn't even know what to do. All he can do is stand there and down it. So boring for him. All right, what can Benton Johnson do with 2:20 left in a game they're being shut out? He can fumble. That was Sean Arnold. Looks like Sean Arnold will get the sack there and the fumble force, but Fransburg falls on it. Sean Arnold led the team last year with 11 sacks. It's been a little more subdued so far this year. And Mahan with the tackle on Wilson. So 3rd and 4 at the 2-minute warning. And Benton Johnson again with lots of time. And that looks like that's going to be pass interference on DeMarcus Coleman. Got a little excited there, and that's a 48-yard penalty. So DeMarcus Coleman has 2 interceptions in the game, so we'll be gracious with giving up the 48-yard penalty. And that's Elijah Wright diving to bat that one down, so Klein can't get it. 2nd and 10. Johnson with new lease on life, and Bohannon gets it. Only for 3, though, as DeMarcus Coleman comes in and tackles him. And they'll hurry back to the line. 3rd and 7. Here comes the rush. Ball is out. And now it's 4th and 7. And of course they're going to go for it. They're down 16-0. So 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions will do the trick. Marsh gets it on the running back check down. And that's going to be 1st and 10 from the 12. And it looks like they're not crediting the quarterback with that Tyree Anderson interception because of the fumble and then play reversal, which is bad. You and I both saw him intercept that pass. What happened after didn't matter, and also he didn't fumble. Touchdown, Fransburg. So they do get on the board as the 3rd tight end, West. Blake West. He gets open on a little seam. No one's going to cover the 3rd tight end, Blake West. Come on. And so they're going to go for 2 and try to make this a 1-score, 1 2-point conversion game. And they hand it off to Marsh for some reason, and he is stuffed in the backfield. Someone is hurt. That looks like James Anderson. And Fransburg will try the onside kick. And that is Antion Paholdi who recovers it. And with 1 minute, 6 seconds left, they're just going to try to make Fransburg burn their timeouts and run out this clock. So Holiday gets it. Bounces off his own man a little bit, but picks up 4. There's the first timeout. McLean hands to Holiday again. He gets hornswoggled and pulled down close to the 1st down marker. Another timeout is used, so 3rd and inches. And they're going to hand to Holiday again, and Holiday makes a move and gets the 1st down. And now Fransburg has to use their final timeout on an injured player. So 53 seconds left, no timeouts, and that one goes to Morgan Montoya. So they're passing, but as long as they're completing, that will still run the clock. And Greg McLean back to pass again. And he's got Holiday for 2 yards. And so the booth is going to review that. They don't want to be so generous as to give up a 2-yard reception. And looks like the running back did not get both feet in, so that will be 2nd and 10. And Holiday will run it up the middle for 6. Now there's 13 seconds left, 3rd and 4. They're going to throw for it, and they get to Morgan Montoya, who breaks a tackle and's got the first down. 8 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown. 7 seconds left, and McLean will throw for it, and he's got Morgan Montoya for his 2nd touchdown of the game. Fransburg coach does not like it, and he'll certainly have something to say in the press conference after this game. So Morgan Montoya now has 9 catches and 2 touchdowns on the day. So big game for him, although working in the short side of the field, less than 100 yards receiving. And that's going to make it 23-6 as his teammates congratulate him on his 2nd touchdown of the game. And Andy Gary will kick this one off into the end zone. We'll see if they burn a couple seconds downing it. They do. And with 3 seconds left, they're going to have to just toss it up and hope for the best. Benton Johnson's already thrown 4 interceptions. Can this be number 5? The ball bounces around a little bit and hits the turf. And that's the game. DeMarcus Coleman is your player of the game with his 2 interceptions on the day. Batavia goes to 2-1 as they defeat Fransburg 23-6. A pretty good game for Greg McLean as he was efficient with the ball. Did throw that bad interception early but bounced back from that. Holiday with no room to roam. The 2 rookies, Montoya and Lewis, doing most of the damage in the receiving game. And so Batavia, with that strange blowout loss to Bestine to start the season, has bounced back with 2 straight wins. We see another sack for Alexander Williams. You'll love to see it. The secondary played pretty well. Defense played pretty well in general, only gave up a couple bad plays. The 48-yard defensive pass interference did set up the touchdown. Couple forced fumbles in that game, 4 interceptions. So it looks like overall the Colliders defense came to play. Offense was not having any huge plays, but they did just enough. And Andy Gary adds a 55-yard field goal to his resume, his 2nd longest after his 57-yard field goal. So they're already feeling the improvement from the kicking game. Well, please kindly like and subscribe. Leave a comment like how awesome the Colliders were, or maybe you want to say how terrible Fransburg was, and we'll see you next week.